Good afternoon, family. I'm an alcoholic. My name is Dwayne K. I like to thank first things first, my God and my understanding for everything. My sobriety date is February 1st, 1994. I do have a sponsor. Thank God for sponsorship. That's Rob Smith on this line today. And he been there. And a lot of brothers that's here. I thank them for being here. Thank you, Steve. It's a honor for you asking me. I appreciate that. I'm gonna share a little about me, and then I'm gonna go into step one. I picked up my first drink at the age of 14. I come from a family of 6 boys. Let me back it up a little bit. Have a lovely mother that's 4 feet height, named Shirley Brown. I come from Dayton Street Projects. I was raised there. My mother took care of all 6 of us. She did an awesome job. I need to say that. We grew up on welfare. Yeah. Building 5, 8th floor, round kitchen table. I remember my mother and my grandmother drink Miller and Schaefer beer, smoked Salem cigarettes. I was a curious alcoholic. I asked my mother, can I have a can of beer? She said, no, no, no. She got up and went to the bathroom. That can of beer, she set it on that round kitchen table. It was cold and sweaty. So when she went to the bathroom, I took a guzzle, not a sip. I don't know nothing about sips in my drinking history. Drugs is a part of my story, but I'm gonna keep it on alcohol to the best of my ability. She went to that bathroom, I took a guzzle. It went down real cold. I hated the taste, but I loved the effect. It just took me from out of myself. So there's no graduation in Alcoholics Anonymous, but I graduated with my drinking. From Miller and Schaefer beer every day to Coke 45 malt liquor, Old English 800. That obsession, that effect was there. I wanted to drink. I loved to drink. Hanging out in bars, this and that, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Then moved from Dayton Street Projects to 836 South 19th Street. I remember Steve talking about these steps out of the big book. I stole. Yeah, I was a thief. I was a pimp. I was the boss. Yeah. Everything I did, it made me feel 7, 8, 9, 10 foot tall. I drank everything. While I was rose wine, red and white, Mad Dog 2020, Bacardi rum. Had my pinky out in the bar, give me a double. I ain't know nothing about Alcoholics Anonymous or sobriety. Did not know. Went to 836 South 19th Street. Brought my mother through a lot of pain, misery, and hell. Coming in 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, drunk, doing a substance. As we know, drugs went hand to hand and didn't know my soul was dark. Became homeless in that apartment, 836 first floor. My mother said, bump y'all, I gotta go. Y'all driving me crazy. A lot of insanity came and all. So that's what it was like. What happened? No, that's what happened. What it was like. It was a lot of fun in the beginning. I kept myself nice, neat, clean. I lost the ability of that. I became a bum. I stopped washing, stopped doing everything. Looked in the mirror. Oh, my hair's okay. I'm cool. Never looked in the mirror. Looked up, brushed my teeth if I could, and ran to the alcohol every day. Became a bum, became homeless, stole from my mother that welfare check. Well, today, I'm not proud of that, but Only through the steps, my mother forgave me and kept saying, see, I had a bottom in that apartment. My mother looked at me and said, who are you? You're not my son. I don't know who the heck you are, but she cussed. I cried on my knees and said, God, if you did, please help me. Help me. God worked through people. I believe that still today. My brother, younger than me, out of 6 boys, there's only 4 of us left. I have a brother in this process. He got a name that start with D like me. Really, I'm in Alcoholics Anonymous. His name Darryl. And his sobriety date is January the 21st, 1994. He's coming up on 29 years, one day at a time. He's still here. He do a lot of service. A guy named John Banks came to that apartment and said, John, need a detox. I'm like, what is a detox? I didn't know the information. Thank God for sponsorship. I got so much information that Steve Wood and all you brothers and sisters on this platform that's been there for me. John came and said, detox, the seed was planted through God. My brother heard that and left. Like I said, I was a thief. A lot of things I stole out of that apartment. My brother, me, and we drank and did a substance. Until I came into Alcoholics Anonymous. Step 1, I didn't understand. I couldn't read in my alcoholism. I didn't go to school. I made it from kindergarten to preschool to the 8th grade, grammar school. Everybody doing a book report, something simple to graduate, to go to high school. I did a book report on alcohol and marijuana and passed with an A. That's all I knew. Went to high school, cut class, front door, back door, jumped out a 2nd floor window, went into Weekway Park, close to where I lived at in Newark, New Jersey. Drank, smoked marijuana, a follower, very low self-esteem, didn't know. I started following people doing this, that, all kinds of substances. Drink. I had a dry high with the substances, the drugs, but I liked it that wet, drunk high. When I went to detox, I learned alcohol is a drug. I never thought that. I thought that addict, them drugs got me out there and it kicked my butt, but alcohol kicked my butt. I only got the drugs if I had the money. I had a job. So came in here, literate, couldn't read a lick. I had to go to a tutoring class for 4 or 5 years. I'm willing to read today. And what I read, if I take my time and if I get the information, I work it to the best of my ability with God. Thank God, my sponsor, Rob S., I love him to life and all of y'all. He gave me so much stuff. We used to go to his house and listen to a lot of CDs. So step 1 is 2 parts in that step. We admitted we're powerless over alcohol, that our lives have become unmanageable. Doing the drink, doing the substance, I never thought my life was unmanageable. I didn't think I was powerless over alcohol. So I came in and had an open mind and listened for a minute. So that first paragraph, who cares to admit complete defeat? Practically no one, of course. Every national instinct cries out against the idea of personal powerlessness. I understand that. It is truly aware to admit that glass in hand made our mind, we have warped our minds into such an obsession for distracting drinking that only an act of providence can remove it from us. Providence is God. He had to remove that obsession. He had to remove all the things. Like what Steve broke down on the first step. That physical allergy, that obsession, and that powerlessness. So I had to admit, accept, and surrender who I am. And only God helped me with that through a sponsor, through y'all angels, brothers and sisters, sponsees. I'm so grateful for the first step. A lot of people said and suggested it's the only step you can do perfect or 100%. I need to do it 1,000%. I went through a lot in my sobriety. 14 years in 2008, colon cancer came. I had the power of choice. I had to lose the power of choice without drinking today. So my thinking like, oh, I don't want to get this surgery. I went through 7 surgeries. In 2010, I had to talk to my sponsor, Rob Smith. And he said, you have to make a major decision. You want to live or you want to die? Because I ain't want these surgeries. I ain't want to go through them. But I went through all that sober. So I had to look at it. I was powerless over this. I'm powerless over that. Let God in and let him do the power. So I've been through all them surgeries, colon cancer, all that. Colon cancer, chemo, radiation, looking and being responsible and doing what the sponsor suggests and what God suggests. I'm colon cancer free, 14 years almost. I'm grateful. Chemo and radiation kicked my butt. I had to make myself eat. I was annoyed. I had to do what I had to do to get better. I weighed like 79, 80 pounds some days in the hospital. But I got through that. I'm a diabetic. I'm working on that. Was taking metformin. I ain't took that in almost 3 years. I maintain myself. I eat right. I drink water, diet, drinks, and all. So another paragraph on 21 down at the bottom. We know that little good can come to any alcoholic who joins AA. Usually he has first accepted his devastating weakness and all his consequences. I know if I drink today, it's a whole lot of consequences. Insanity coming. No, not today. I haven't drank since I've been here for the past 28 years, and I'm not drinking. Usually he's so humble himself. His sobriety, if any, will be progress. I need help with the word. It's CPRECARIOUS. Progress. Go ahead. What was that? Progresses, I think. So
Precarious.
Precarious. Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
So if I don't ask for help, how am I get the help through God? So this first step has been in my life one day at a time. And I thank God for Steve for asking me. I thank God for Rob Smith and all you brothers and sisters and brothers in this process. David, I hope everything is good with your process. And my first sponsors gave me a message, a serious one. I carry it one day at a time. No matter what you go through in life, Dwayne, don't pick up a drink or the drug. It's going to make your life worse, not better. So I grew up in Newark, New Jersey. I got a birthday coming up, January the 17th. I'll be 58. I came in Alcoholics Anonymous when I was 26 and a half. And thank God for the 12 steps. And Steve, break it down from 1 to 5, 6 to 7. It's 3 prayers. No, 2 prayers, I think. The 3rd step prayer in the big book and the 7th step prayer. The, the 11th step prayer is in the 12 on 12. And I read to the best of my ability. If I take my time, I can understand the reading through anybody, through God. I'm so grateful. So its previous steps are several steps after one. There's 11 more. I got to practice them all to the best of my ability to have a better life. I moved from a year ago now. It's been a year almost. Yeah, the 10th of January from Newark, New Jersey to Central Florida, Ocala. Had a house built from the ground. I had help with a book that was so many contracts I had to sign, me and my wife, and I'm living peaceful. And thank you for that prayer in that moment last night, Steve, to let go everything. And when I live in peace, only one break my peace is me, because I got these character defects. They ain't went nowhere. So they arrested one day at a time. And I work on keeping them arrested. So peace come. I pay bills today. I take care of my health today. God taught me with the first step and all the previous and several steps to live a happy, joyous, and free life. Thank you again, Steve, and thank all of y'all for being here. And all of the brothers, Mike, Unbelievable, Rob, Will, or anybody else that I know. And I met Steve, a good man. God bless you, your wife, and family. That's all I got. My mother, she been seeing me since I've been here one day at a time. I call her constantly. Yeah, out of the 6 boys, a knee baby. He was 54 years old. I drank with him. I drug with him. He saw me in this process. He knew about the process. Diabetic. He died August 23rd, 2022. And when Rob and the first sponsor, Ronnie M., no matter what you go through, don't pick up a drink or a substance. I carry that. I need to carry that. That first step. I'm powerless over life, some things in life. I have to accept it with God. And if I'm going through a lot emotionally, I got Steve. Steve, I've been calling him. He's been calling me back, texting me back. I got anybody on this platform that can help me. And then when Steve talked about that 5th step last night, confession, honestly, humiliation, brotherhood, I had to do all that. So I have to accept the truth, even if I don't like it. I remember a long time ago, I asked my sponsor, Rob, is I'm doing anything right? He looked at me. He said, yeah, you're doing things right. I never said that. But he been there. I remember I had to call. I was going through a thing, 4 in the morning. He picked up and said something simple. You're going to be all right. He was right. Everything Steve said, and from 1 to 5 to 6, 7, and he talked about it. My sponsor say, honesty is the first step. Open mind is the second. Willing and action is the third. Like Steve said, I believe that. The 4th step is an honest step. The 5th step is an open step. The 6th step is a willing step to get with character defects with God. Surrender, right, Steve? Thank you. The 7th step is an honest step. The 8th step is just making a list of everybody in my path and even in my sobriety to put them on that list. That's an open step. The 9th step is a willing step to make a direct amends when I need to do it one day at a time, anywhere, today, and sobriety. I did that in my alcoholism with the 12 steps. The 10th step is an honest step. The 11th step is an open step, the conscious contact with prayer and meditation with my higher power, my God, to let him in. The truth. And that's with anybody on this platform and sponsorship. God worked through people. And the 12th step is a willing step to carry the message to the sick and suffering alcoholic. All these steps are in the big book. My sponsor give me everything to listen to if I can't read it. Joe and Charlie, 12 Steps, people that's speaking, listening to Steve, his powerful message, breaking down the steps to make me understand. Did a thorough 4-step with Steve, listening, that sex relationship, that gluttony, that envy, that sloth, the resentment, the bitterness. It's bitterness for me. When I'm bitter, I can't handle nothing. Rob know me like a book. Steve know me now like a book. And all of y'all. I'm so grateful and blessed for the process. It ain't easy. It's going to take a lot of time to stay where I'm at. I am blessed through God. So let go all that ego and stuff like Steve said, because God is in charge. Good, orderly direction. So I got to let him chauffeur me in that white limousine and wear silk like Michael Johnson. I got Michael Johnson CDs. I got sponsors in my life that help me more than they know in the chapter 7 in the big book, working with others. So I got to humble myself, let my ego get out the way. If I don't know something, I'm going to ask anybody for help. And I got to keep coming. Zoom has been working for me. And I'm grateful because the meetings out here in Central Florida, Ocala, is not the same. They only do the preamps. They share everything in the rooms. I need to go out on commitments and share my experience to hope and help myself and anybody if I can. They say, don't judge. I don't judge nobody. Only through God's grace, love, and mercy and carrying me, I haven't relapsed one day at a time. I'm grateful for that. But anybody that do relapse, they help me stay here. Because it ain't get no better out there in the world. The governor out here in Central Florida, mask is not required. Distance is not required. I gotta wear a mask, man, because of my health, diabetic. I had a flu shot yesterday. I went for checkup December 22nd. Everything good. My A1C count is 6.0. Thank God. I'm good wherever I'm at. So I got to keep calling my sponsor, talk to him. I got Steve's number. I ain't know I had it, but I got it. And I got anybody in number in here. I got like almost 2,000 numbers in here with family members. And I got 10 grandkids. I got 6 kids that's grown, thank God. And that's only through the process of Alcoholics Anonymous. And I got an open mind. And everything good come from God. I'm working, not having no negative thoughts. I got to have positive thoughts. So I'm going to listen to anybody that need to share, and I'm going to let it go from here, Steve. Thank you. It was overwhelming. I love you. And God bless us all. That's all I got.